What's happening, people? Back with another reaction, back with some more Alanis Morissette. And we're returning to Supposed Former Infatuation Junkie. Big shout out to Adam. Though in the moment I've had to find the rest of the album online. Indeed, Adam, if you see this, I wasn't able to get into the drive, so I don't know if that was a glitch. But either way, we will continue for now. And the next track after Thank You, meaning I already reacted to Thank You, big shout out to Yvonne, so I'm jumping over that, and the next tune following that is Are You Still Mad? Which is a question, I think, at least on the surface, intended to gauge the emotional state of someone who has been upset. Now, that person might be upset for a more reasonable reason or for a less justified reason, but regardless, it sounds like the narrator wants to know where this person is in terms of their feeling, and in the context, it feels like maybe this upset feeling relates to the narrator herself. And as a further thought, I do wonder whether this is another tune with a bit of an autobiographical background. I mean, people mention that a couple tunes on Jagged Little Pill, there's a consensus that it relates to certain aspects or relationships in Alanis' life, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case here. In any case, there is no clear answer, so I will do what I can to follow the lyrics on a first listen. Let's hear it. This is Alanis Morissette. The tune is Are You Still Mad? And it's from her 1998 album, Supposed Former Infatuation Junkie.
Are you still mad I kept you out of bed? Are you still mad I gave you ultimatums? Are you still mad I compared you to all my 40-year-old male friends? Are you still mad I shared our problems with everybody?
Oof.
Are you still mad I had an emotional affair? Are you still mad I tried to mold you into who I wanted you to be? Are you still mad I didn't trust your intentions? Of course you are. Of course you are. Of course you are. Of course you are. Are you still mad that I flirted wildly? Are you still mad I had a tendency to mother you? Are you still mad that I had one foot out the door? Are you still mad that we slept together even after we ended? Of course you are. Of course you are. Of course you are. Of course you are. Are you still mad I wore the pants most of the time? Are you still mad that I seem to focus only on your potential? Are you still mad that I threw in the towel? And are you still mad that I gave up long before you did? Of course you are. Of course you are. Of course you are. Of course you are.
powerful and excellent tune. So first, sonically, I love the more ambient, not quite a cappella, but very minimal sections, which are then dramatically transitioned into a percussion heavy arrangement. And indeed, the percussion has a bit of weight to it. It feels, the snare drum is loud and forceful, the kick drum is very heavy and thumping, so it's almost like this, it's down tempo, like the pace and the rhythm is not particularly energetic. But yes, the percussion, the drums themselves have weight, they have heft to them. And then when the cellos, I think, come in, it really gives it this sweep and emotional weight. So I love all three sections or flavors or arrangements as the tune plays out. And her vocals, they are distinctly Alanis's, again, as I came to understand and maybe even understood a little bit before I began this deep dive. It's the kind of voice that you hear it once, you never fail to recognize it after that. She just really has her own style. And yeah, it does sound like she's trying to get a sense for her ex's state of mind, state of emotion, though it doesn't sound like it's a dialogue. It sounds like she's kind of looking back or, wondering what he's feeling and thinking. And even when she says, "of course you are," it feels more like a supposition rather than direct evidence or, a feedback that she's getting from this person. But through the little vignettes, through the lines, you can sort of piece together the relationship. It's one in which she wore the pants more often, as she says. It's one in which, she was constantly speaking to what, like, his potential, what he could be, and which eventually she, kicked him out of bed, and she felt like she could read the writing on the wall before he did. She had one foot out of the relationship. She gave up on it before he did, and yet she slept with him after they formally broke up. And she feels like he's probably even mad about that because maybe that just complicated things for him emotionally. And so, yeah, it's like she runs through everything that happened in little fragmented lines, and you can get a sense for the way the relationship played out and where the guy apparently, felt like was being judged, and, she was talking to everyone else about their problems, and, she felt like the situation had run its course maybe before he gave up on it, and yet even then there was still some form of connection which maybe prolonged his misery a little bit, and eventually he got very upset and angry, and she now, it seems like, is wondering from afar, or at least with a bit of temporal distance between the final end and the time of the song, and you're so funny, Luca, wondering if he is indeed still mad, and concluding, again, seemingly without any direct feedback, that, well, of course you are, of course you are. Now, maybe the "of course you are" is because, when she reached out, he's like, yeah, this is ridiculous, I'm still furious, whatever, but yeah, I like the storytelling in the song, which is like from a particular moment in time, but you get a sense of everything that's happened before, and maybe even a hint that things aren't likely to change for this other person in the immediate future. So yeah, a cool song emotionally. I really do enjoy her vocals, and as I said, I like all three configurations, maybe the most of the three being the full articulation where it's the percussion and those strings, those cellos. So yeah, another top tune from Alanis. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time. Peace.